Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy Tactics. We were in the middle of story time. You remember that, right? Fearing the charismatic saint's growing influence, the Holy Ajoran Empire dispatched soldiers to capture him and his devoted followers. Pharism was the prevalent religion in the day, and the priests feared Ajora's growing influence. Ultimately, Grimonke, the 13th disciple, was tempted by sordid coin, offering vital information that led to his master's capture. The saint was executed upon the gallows of Golgotha soon thereafter. But lest we forget, Saint Ajora was a child of the gods, and the wrath of heavens was swift and terrible. Immediately following the execution, Malunde, the center of Pharisee teachings, was visited by a terrible cataclysm and sunk into the sea. Saint Ajora then ascended to paradise to take his rightful place among the gods. That was the legend that I was familiar. This was a legend with which I was familiar, the very same told to every child of Iblis. But the Saint Ajora described within the scriptures of Gigorikwe, Germolque, I think it is, was a different man altogether. Ajora was no child of the gods. He was a mere mortal, no more divine than you are I. He was a revolutionary who fought to realize his own ambitions. He was no lover of peace, but nor a hero who would sacrifice himself for the good of humanity. Grimonke wrote of him. As the founder of a new religion with a rising number of followers, Ajora was seen as no more than a nuisance to the empire, but Ajora was apparently more than just a religious founder. He was a saboteur who infiltrated enemy states to collect information and sow disorder. He was a spy dispatched to the Holy Ajoran Empire by a rival state. Whatever he claimed to be, it was a fact that the empire began to fear his upstart's growing influence. Grimonke was employed to collect evidence that would allow the Empire to arrest Ajora as a spy. The 13th disciple was in reality no more than the Empire's instrument in a play to uncover Ajora's true intentions. It seems that Ajora indeed tempted to reassemble the Zodiac Braves. Grimonke confirmed in his writings that Ajora even discovered some of the stones. But what was the purpose in seeking them? I do not know if the young king of Limberry actually summoned a demon, but at the very least I failed to encounter even a single line within the scripture that records this event. Yet catastrophe did befall Malunde at the end of Ajora's death. According to the scriptures, the bulk of the city sank into the sea. The footnotes provided further enlightenment. They expressed the view, no doubt, of the personal opinion of Elder Simon. Although many spoke of their existence, none had ever laid eyes upon the scriptures of Grimonke. Some might say they are fraudulent, written with the sole purpose of discrediting Saint Ajora. But I know this tome to be authentic. When I served as inquisitor for the church, many others in the Holy Office feared the existence of this work. And the same is no doubt true for the High Confessor. They were all fearful of these writings, for everything contained within them is fact. After Saint Ajora's death, the church, which had capitalized on his considerable influence to seize power for itself, had only one task: to conceal his true nature as a human being. The one fact had been erased from the annals of history. They needed to ensure that Saint Ajora be remembered as a child of the gods. Their use of the Zodiac Brave, a legend believed throughout Iblis, was a stroke of genius. It was a simple feat to convince the people that Saint Ajora had led the Zodiac Brave to defeat a demon that never existed. I realize now that I lost my faith the moment I began to read these scriptures, and yet I feel no sorrow. Thinking back, I now know that the desire to know the truth was stronger than my faith had ever been. But I had committed one great sin. I failed to condemn the church for lying to our flocks of all those years. And why? I knew that if I were to share this book with the world, my precious library would have been taken from me. And to be there could be no pain greater, for this library is The only means of me slacking my endless thirst for knowledge. My curiosity eclipsed by my will to do what was right. Elder Simon wrote that in Saint Ajora's demon never existed, but I have seen the dark power of the Zodiac Stones for my own eyes. There is an evil presence at work, something much more sinister than even the High Confessor and his twisted plots. And that was the Book of Gramonki, or whatever it's called. Now we move on to the city of Dorter, where we're gonna get a cutscene. Well, scene first off and foremost. Where we're going to meet a certain person who's yet unnamed. You are the heretic Keith, yes? What have you done with Alma? Oh God! If you want your sister back, you will come to Riven's castle. I don't know. And you will bring the scriptures of Gramonke with you. What importance is the book? Surely you have read the scriptures. I have read the scriptures, all to you. I have, and if you keep the church's secret, you will give. If you would keep the church's secret, you will give me my sister. You are in no position to make demands. This is a luxury you do not have. So we have an understanding, yes? And away he goes. Now, before leaving, we're also going to get a cutscene and a full motion video. But first, we're going to see where we have to go. All the way the fuck up there. But there's new cities and everything to see. But first, back here. Now loading again. For the 80th goddamn fucking time. Jesus Christ. Superstar. Okay.
So here you are. They've been searching high and low for you. I do hope this day finds your Royal Highness in better spirits than those past.
Do not mock me. Please. I could not bear it.
That was cruel of me. I am sorry.
What do you mean to do with me? I am not Ovelia. There can be no value in holding me. No value even in my living.
You're right. You are not the Princess Ovelia. We do not even know your rightful name. Whether even you be highborn or low.
I had often wondered. Of the royal family, why must I alone be confined to a remote monastery, so far removed from the seat of our crown? Even this I thought a burden light enough, if it meant the kingdom would know peace. I played my part. Yet still Ivalice runs red with blood. All this suffering and solitude. For what?
It has been the same for me. I was given the wardrobe of a nobleman, and so I played the part. A puppet ever dancing for the amusement of patrons unseen. This wretched world does not reward endeavor. It is the patron and his troop who are receipt. Maggots grown fat on endeavor's course. Most men but play the part they're given. Most live and die not knowing they play a part at all. But I am past all that now. I am their unwitting puppet. No more! No more. I will exact from them the price of their gluttonous feast!
And just what is it you plan to do to them?
I will burn down this kingdom, and from its ashes build for you a new one, a kingdom worthy of you. I will show you a world where your light will outshine the sun, a world that will know no darkness. And you will have no more need of tears.
Such a world. Is it possible?
I will not fail you in this. On Titra's soul, I swear it to you. Dry your tears.